All right, all right. We live.
All
We
right,
live.
no
We
doubt,
live.
no
We live.
doubt. Yo, welcome back, man. Listen, it's your boy Troy,
It's your boy Sean.
and we back tapped in again.
We tapped in. We checking a little bit of the technicals for the
Yeah.
podcast. So we just want to make sure that y'all can hear us audibly. Pretty good. And so we're gonna take a couple minutes just to make sure everything is working good, and then we're gonna get into the show.
No doubt, no doubt. So
Into
we
the show,
appreciate y'all.
For sure, always tapping in with us, man.
Yeah.
So, I guess before we get into it, we might want to start. Well, just get into it. Because actually, the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is, man, you got a big weekend coming up this weekend.
Yeah, man. We excited, man. We closed it down, man. Everybody's geared up, ready to go. Summertime suit up 2025. Man, we're expecting big things, man. We're expecting a great turnout. We're expecting some useful conversation from the men. Yeah, got some great speakers coming.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's gonna be dope, man. We're ready, man. We're excited. We're gonna show up.
Show out.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I'm pretty excited, man. Got my stuff together. My son's coming. Got his stuff together, and I mean, just looking forward to being able to have a good time and network with guys, build relationships.
That's
if it's one thing, man. Like this week got some really good news, and it's all about relationships.
All right,
and how you cultivate those relationships and how you show up in those relationships. And you don't know when those relationships are going to start. Like as far as you don't know if it's the person the person at the grocery store that you're just nice to all of the time, and you have conversation and you treat them good. You treat them like you just treat everybody the way you want to be treated. And like that's real important, because you don't know who can help you,
right?
Or who can be an advocate in a room that you're not in, and you actually need.
No doubt.
You need some help.
And timing is everything too, man. With the relationships, just a lot of times you'll know people in certain positions, and just because you know them and know what they could do for you, if it's not a need or something like that, some people use those relationships too soon. Like, right. Oh man, that's my guy over here. He can do this for me. But hey, sometimes it's just about, I know you, right? We can communicate, and it could be 5 years down the line and say, oh man, I want to do this for you, man. Or oh, I could do this for you. And it's crazy because it could be 5 years down the line before you actually even need to utilize that. That's what I'm saying.
That resource.
Yeah, exactly.
And because that's the one piece of advice, especially for young people getting started. Mm-hmm. Just because you got access.
That's what I was saying.
Somebody.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't mean that you really got access to ask.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes we talked about this last week. The people coming in your life giving, or they come into your life, looking to take. Sometimes it's important to know who that person is, what they do, but it's also important to know, how can I show up in this person's life and bring value?
Exactly.
Right. And it's that doesn't need to be monetarily. That can be, a relationship that you have that might be beneficial to them.
Yeah.
Or just knowledge. They may be going, trying to figure something out, and you may know somebody who's in that field, right. And be like, hey, look, I can link y'all two together. And so you're just trying to provide a level of service, right, to that person. And the relationship isn't always about doing that. But if you just go about it the normal way and just saying, I'm gonna treat everybody that I encounter the way that I want to be treated.
So true.
That's all that matters.
And then support, man. Support. Right. Support goes a long way. Just because they don't need your money, because they don't. Sometimes people just need you to show up for them. Support. Right. They open the doors. Hey, I can't stay the whole time, but hey, I'm gonna show up for you, man. Right. There's no reason in the world, man, you should be in a relationship where you can't take time out to support somebody else.
Right. And then a lot of times people want things to go good for them, and they want to put on an event or something like that. they want everybody to come out for them, but then they don't want to go out and support nobody else and what they got going on, what they doing.
That's
you know,
give and take all again.
It's a give and take, and it's the times. Not saying that you don't want to support somebody, but it could be some days where it's like, man, I really just feel like sitting on the couch today.
Yeah,
you know, but because this is somebody, you know, what I mean, that I care about, I want their whatever they doing to be a success.
That's it.
I'm gonna show up.
That's
you know, it's just so my support. Rather, I can stay the whole time. And then sometimes you might not be able to show up in physical form and support, but you might be able to sponsor something, you know, or you know, sponsor a ticket for somebody else to be able to go because you can't do it. No All of those little gestures, man, they go a long way.
Go a long way, man. Go a long way.
Yeah. Speaking of giving back, man, well, not even necessarily giving back, man. It's that time of year again, you know. Everybody getting back to school.
Man, yes, sir. Man. So
what did back to school mean to you coming up, man?
But I love it, man. Something about the era that changed when it's back to school time, man. And of course, man, you know, when you got a certain age, that school shopping began, man. You start to figure out how the drip gonna be. You put it together. I mean, we would ride our bikes, man, like far just to see a joker. What he wearing the first day of school? Yeah, we all our fellas just get together. Like, oh yeah, man. Hey, it wasn't no picture for camera phones back then. You couldn't snap the picture. We had to actually ride out.
Yeah, you had to see it.
Yeah, you had to see that thing laid out on the bed, boy, crispy. I'm gonna kill him first day.
So how long was your runway? From first day of school, how many days of new fits did you?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I started school with the family reunion outfit.
Okay.
The one you bought that summer for the family reunion.
That was day one.
That was day one. That's what you're gonna
because then ain't nobody see you in that.
Yeah, nobody see
you in it. You wear it to the family reunion, you all picked up. And then
we would get that, keep that crispy.
Right.
You just put the new kick on, and then you get an eye, wait for everybody, and then maybe the third day you hit them with something new. Yeah, so you finish the week out, and then that next week you get a run. About then, man, you repeating that.
You remixing after that. You remixing after that.
Hey, shout out to my church family that I grew up with. Man, we pastor campers, man. Listen, we had so many guys around the same age. Man, we can dress different for a whole month.
Y'all just
swap come Sunday. Oh, you bring that jersey? I bring. Man, listen, we stayed first because this one from Laurel, this one from Seaford. So we could just switch everything off.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a long repertoire, man.
Yeah, I ain't even think about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I was like the only child for a minute. You know, so and then my cousins were younger than me. And it wasn't my older male cousins didn't stay around, so it wasn't nobody to hand me down nothing. You know what I mean? Or swap with. You know, so. Yeah, I mean, that made it a little bit different. I will tell you, man, back to school, man, it feel a lot different now when you got kids in college, though.
Oh, man.
Because
come on.
It's not the fit I'm worried about. It's the installments.
Come on, man. Who you telling?
Them payments. I know the closer we get to August, September, the sooner I'm going to get an email saying this portion of your tuition is now due.
Yeah. You ain't got nothing to do but write the check. Yeah, you all right. You got it right. You know you could do it.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to get that phone call. Hey, I can't get lunch. I can't.
Yeah.
Or the person or the admin see me walking in the building. They looking at me all crazy. Like, what you? Yeah. But you got like 2 hours left here for something.
Yeah. But look, while we talking about back to school, I seen something this week, man, and it almost, man. I was just like, I was wild because. You shouldn't even have to say this, but they had a sign out in front, and it was like, listen, when you come pick your kids up, we don't want no bonnets. We don't want pants sagging. We want you to limit the amount of smoke that's on you. You know what I mean? When you come in there, we don't want, he's like, our young scholars deserve to see something different. Yeah. And man, I respected that. But at the same time, like, why should you even have to?
Yeah, what kind of society are we in where you got it? That's common sense stuff.
And you want to represent your kid in a different way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why would you want to pull up and for them to make an assumption of how that kid is being raised off of you not putting the time into it?
Right. Because unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword because now they have you in a box, but this child that didn't even ask for that now they have a label on them too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even though they say they don't, they are going to categorize them in a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? Rather it be right or wrong, that kid didn't do anything to deserve that.
Right.
But just because of the person that is bringing them in, you automatically associate like, oh, they must come from this kind of household or that kind of household.
Yeah.
And like that may not even be the case. And you can't be mad if they make that assumption when you're giving them the ammunition to form it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it could be, and I've seen cases where somebody work overnight, get to lay down for an hour and got to jump up and take the kids to school. And unless you know that backstory, and they always come in looking sleepy, might have a bonnet or clothes on, and you don't know they're doing all that they can do just to get the kids to school.
Right.
But, we live in a society where they're going to make that assumption based off their parents. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
So let me ask you this though: when your kids were younger, and I know you still do have younger kids now, when it came to like name brands and buying like the designer, well, I ain't gonna say designer, but just like the brands and stuff, was that something majorly important in your household when you shop for your kids?
Nah, man. Nah. I mean, as long as it looked good, I mean, my kids got stuff from Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nice polos, khaki shorts. Like, man, as long as it looks, I just want my kids to look presentable.
Right. And be clean.
And be clean. And you know what I mean? Like the name brand, rather it was, not saying it's big like that, but like ain't gotta be Gap or Polo or, I mean, ton of Old Navy, clothes. Yeah. Like, come on, and because if I'm doing that, now what am I teaching them?
Right.
Is the label matters. Yeah. No, what matters is the confidence that you have.
Yeah.
Right. And how you present yourself and how you talk to people, how you respect people. And because that's what you're gonna get back.
That's gonna get you so much farther than a label anyway, an outfit.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I've always been one to stay in my lane.
That's it. Yeah. And show your individuality. You can show individuality without having a bunch of labels and names and stuff on you anyway.
Right.
Because fly, you make the clothes fly. The clothes don't make you fly.
Yeah. If you can put it together and coordinate, I mean, that's all that matters, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? It could be a Daffy Duck jersey. You know what I mean? But if you got the right colors to accent it and you got the sneaks to pull it off, I mean, that's all that matters. It's like, oh, okay, I like the way.
And next thing you know, you got somebody else. You're a trendsetter. Now everybody else wearing the Daffy Duck because you rocked it with confidence, man, and swagged it out.
That's it, man. But so especially, man, like you young parents, don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into it like your kid's guy had at newest J's or. I mean, come on, we're talking about a size 2C. They're gonna be in it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna spend $100 for that, and you could have bought, just some regular shoes, maybe $20. Man, who cares?
And let's be honest, man. If I could think back, I would rather have an okay pair of sneaks and have money for the book fair, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Than have the newest Jordans, but every time it was time to eat lunch or the book fair came around or field trip,
you can't go. I ain't go
because I got it all on my back.
Right.
Yeah. Don't fall for that peer pressure or that stress. You know what I mean? When it comes to that, do the best you can. Yeah, you got to wash and dry, keep your kids clean, man. And when if you're gonna get bullied, let it be for something else, not for. Well, no, we're not bullying at all. Yeah, I said that wrong. We're not doing any bullying. And it's sad that kids get bullied for that, man. And then some of them kids had the most beautifulest minds, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you got to get to know folk, man.
For real. So, man, speaking on, like, we're talking on this topic, and I'm sure maybe the way you feel about it now might have been different than when you felt about it when your kids was little, right? So my question to you, like the topic is, does the truth change?
Does the truth change? Truth is truth. Truth, you can't penetrate truth. Perspective can change. I think perspective change. I think situation, environments change, but I don't think the truth change. I think the truth can be highlighted in a different light. Let's say if you grew up in a household, now I'm just using this as an example, this not pertaining to me, where dad was the bad guy because the kids rode with mom all the time, dad was gone, so whatever narrative she put out, that's the truth. Man, my dad, he always making my mom sad, he's doing it. So you get older, and now you find out, oh man, mom was causing dad to do this, or mom was doing this, and you see it from a different angle. Now that truth looks different. The truth is, it was dysfunctional.
Right.
But the perspective changed now, like, oh, dad ain't the bad guy like we thought he was. You know what I mean? It just depends on perspective.
I would say, you know, I would say yes, but I think when I'm saying yes, I'm saying I'm thinking perspective, because I could be doing everything that right now, and it's my truth, right? It's my truth and how I think and how I view life right now. But over the next 5 years, I will evolve as a person, and the things that I operated in that was my truth today may not be my truth 5 years from now, and what I live in and what I believe in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you evolve.
Yeah.
And you change.
Right. And so I'm staying true to who I am today, but I'm allowing space for me to grow and evolve.
But was your truth the truth back then? Because even though you seen it in part and you was looking from it, you know, at a certain angle, I still don't think you could classify as the truth.
So I will say, for me, because the first thing I thought was, yes, it does change. But actually, it's my perspective that changes. I think that if you are, my truth is rooted in Christ, right? So in that, those principles don't change.
Right. He says the same today, tomorrow, and forever.
But as long as I'm living, I'm never going to be that. I'm working towards it. So the person that I am, if I'm working towards that, should be changing every year and evolving. But the truth that I'm basing that change off of has not changed. I've changed. I've been more enlightened, and maybe I've become stronger in different areas of my life. But there is a truth that I'm headed towards.
Right.
And that encompasses my whole life as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a friend, as somebody in the community. Like, in all of those areas, I'm trying to grow and evolve. Right. So I am going to hopefully change every year, you know, and become a closer version of what my truth actually is.
I'm going to catch a lot of flack by saying this, man, but it gets a little murky when you talk about my truth or your truth and this, because then it's so many versions of the truth. And then you have the hard truth. And I'm the type of person, I like the hard truth, because I feel a way, and my truth, like you said, how you say my truth is my truth until I'm faced with the hard truth. And then I'm like, oh man, I was looking, you know, and unless you learn how to be accountable and say, okay, Dad, what I thought, and is able to like relearn or relook at something, I think you'll be stuck, man, because you hear a lot of people now talking about my truth, but it's my truth. Well, sometimes that could be, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying it could be a cop out too. So it could be like, okay, I'm stuck here and I want to stay here because this is my truth.
Right.
it might be your situation. That's what I said earlier. The situations could change. You know what I mean? That's your situation now. This is your, I don't know if this is your truth, but this is just where you're at now. But as you evolve and like you say, go closer to the truth, then you'll look back and say, that wasn't it.
Right.
So it couldn't have been.
But you basing it off a standard higher than your own though. Right, because you can't face a hard truth unless there's a standard that's higher than what you currently see.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can't say it's my truth and then see something I'm like, no, that's the hard truth.
Right.
That's the real truth.
Right.
So that's not my standard. That's a standard that has been presented to me.
Man, one of the deepest things I ever heard, man, and it changed my life, and it's so simplistic, man. When we talk about the truth, I think we do have to stand on, once we align with the truth, what we perceive to be the truth, and we align with it, like you say, your truth is rooted in Christ. My truth is rooted in Christ, right?
Right.
Somebody said, if anybody else's truth be the truth, it makes your truth a lie. Man, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
And when and with that being said, you just got to stand on what you believe in. You know what I mean? Because we live in a society now where you can be wishy-washy, very wishy-washy, man, because there's a lot of information out there. People throw stuff at you all the time, and they make some good valid points. But if they shift your truth,
then it wasn't true.
Then it couldn't have been the truth. Man.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, and that's why I say it can't, your truth can't be rooted in man.
Yeah, it can't be rooted in man. Nah.
It's got to be something higher and greater than yourself. And on that note, when you find that, it's a process.
That's exactly what it is.
Of trying to get there, and that's in anything in life, rather it's a thought or idea, trusting the process.
Oh yeah.
Sounds easy, but sometimes it's the hardest thing, one of the hardest things to do.
All the time it is, man. I mean, we would, everybody would have gave up if not, man. It is really hard, man. And there's so many levels to it. I mean, when you're thinking about marriage, look at the process of where you started and where you at, 20 some years, but you got to trust the process that, okay, I know started off, we didn't even know sometimes, what we was going to eat at night, how we was going to take care of the kids, because we just starting out. Mm-hmm. But you got to say, okay, we do the right things. If we, we find a way to manage our money together, we find a way to stay consistent in everything that we do, then that process is going to take us to where we need to be. But a lot of times people abandon the process so easy because we love the outcome. We love the start of something. Mm-hmm. It's exciting. Mm-hmm. And then you think, okay, we know what we want it to be, the outcome. All that in between, that's the process. And that process is where the challenge come at it.
It is, man. And it's crazy because I think when you find something that you were truly meant to do or be, it's actually the process that you fall in love with. The process of working to get better, to do better, right? You even though a process is not a straight incline. I'm working on it. I mean, I'm not doing as well as I could, but I'm not going to deviate from what the ultimate purpose was. I'm going to stay true to that for as long as it takes me, because like a lot of times, like it could be a thought or idea or a business or something like that, where somebody, has, been given this idea, can see it, in their mind finish, but for whatever reason, they stop doing the process of it.
Yeah.
Right. Because sometimes you can get so fixated on the outcome that you saw that you don't realize that and the process is is really another word for lessons. There's lessons that need to be learned on your journey to get to that place. And those lessons that you learn through that process is what allows you to be able to keep and maintain when you get to that place.
It's lessons and disciplines.
And discipline.
And
yes,
disciplines.
yes.
Because you watch me. I lost 70 pounds one time. I went through, I'm talking about put in the work, lost it, got the physique I wanted. I mean, and that was a process. Maybe a year and some change process doing the same thing. I mean, 10 years later, somewhere along the line, I abandoned that process. And I said that to say this, that those processes have to be repeated too. Mm-hmm. They have to be repeated because you can put in the work, trust the process, get the desired result. And then when it start to crumble, you got to be able to say, okay, I did it before. This is.
And sometimes that vision needs to be reshaped, right? You know what I mean? So like in the instance of you, when you got to that, what got you through that process was that you saw what you wanted to be, right? And then the vision didn't change. So you endured the process, you learned the lessons, you got to the point that you saw in your mind, but then you didn't have another vision to follow after to start a new process. Right.
Okay.
A process of, okay, I'm here 10 years from now. I don't want to be more than 10 pounds heavier than what I am right now. So what does that take now?
Right. How do you maintain
How do I maintain it?
And create a new process within that. That's the important part.
That's it.
Because I think a lot of people are visionaries. A lot of people are disciplined to a certain extent. They can come out and say, okay, this is my goal. And they can get right there to the doorstep of the goal. But once now that door open, what process do I need to implement now to keep moving forward?
And it's crazy. I'm glad we're talking about this, man, because I'm a person. I always wrote down my goals, and I would always make these lofty goals, right? And I would do really well, but I wouldn't hit that particular goal, and it would frustrate me,
right?
And it wasn't until like I actually started getting coaching where it was like, okay, this is whatever your year marker is, this was the goal, right? Goals can change. Right?
Okay.
And in that process, let's just say I wanted to do 100 transactions for the year. And we are in June and I'm only at 30. Okay, the likelihood of me doubling my output for the remainder of the year and hitting that 100 is probably unlikely.
Right.
But my mindset was I'm gonna get it no matter what. I'm gonna get there. Instead of saying, okay, maybe I need to readjust my first goal. Look at what I've done and say, okay, well, how can I go from 30 more transactions? 60 more transactions, actually 70 more transactions, to say, okay, well, how can I do 45 or 50 more transactions for the end of the year?
Right.
Because now instead of beating my head up against the wall, trying to get to this number that may not be attainable, I've recalibrated the initial vision. Now I can recommit to the process to be able to meet the new goal. Right. And so now at the end of the year, if I hit that new goal, now I have the initial process. I got the data. I got the things I did right, the things I did wrong. Then I also have the new process. I got the changes that I made.
Right.
So now I'm taking that into the next year and saying, okay, I should be able to hit my goal that I had last year, next year, and maybe I want to add a couple more to it. And so now I'm readjusting and I'm giving myself the opportunity, one, to have a success, two, to be able to re-engage myself in the process and reevaluate and kind of reset. And then you have the feeling of accomplishment when you have completed that second goal.
It does a lot for your psyche, because if you keep that lofty goal, like you said, and you don't reach it now, it's a sense of failure that set in.
Right.
And then you kind of start to scale back. Oh, I'm not, that negativity come in now. Right. I'm not going to hit that. I ain't, you know.
Right. That's self-doubt. Yeah. So you want to always build in some wins along the way, you know, or give yourself an opportunity to feel accomplished. I mean, because I'm talking about like my career, but you think about it, Kobe Bryant, what he loved the process of practice. Right. I mean, you hear guys talk about it all the time, how much attention to detail he paid when he was in practice. Same thing with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I mean, almost practiced too much to where it kind of tore their body up from being able to actually do the thing that they was training for.
Yeah.
Wow. And so, you know, sometimes that process, you can fall too in love with it, and it actually overcomes you being able to hit the main goal.
Wow. Yeah. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
That's it, man.
Trust the process.
No doubt. So, man, real estate, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, estate planning. Mm-hmm. Estate planning, man. That's a big one, man, because it's a lot of people, man, leave here and they don't have their affairs in order or whatnot. Mm-hmm. How important, man, is it to have that plan in place?
Man, it's so important. I see it too many times. Where somebody passes away, they tell Mary, they tell Joe, oh, I want you to have this, I want you to have that. Mm-hmm. And then, man, I don't know what happens sometimes when a matriarch or a patriarch passes away. It's almost like people, they change.
They
change. And even though I know what he told me, I know what he told you, now all of a sudden, that's not what they meant.
Right. Or they see the opportunity.
Right. Or they see the opportunity. And so, and then that can lead to instances where if you got multiple siblings and they're not getting along, you can have a piece of property that would have done wonders for a family, but nobody can move anywhere because nobody, you know, one person's willing to pay the taxes, but they don't want to pay the taxes because everybody else gets the benefit of still owning the property. Nobody wants to get bought out. You know, they think the property is worth more than what it actually is. So they can't come to an agreement. So estate planning really it takes all of that stuff off the table. It takes the guesswork out. You know, you have a will or you have a trust, and you put in that will and you put in that trust what goes to who's supposed to get what, who's supposed to be in charge. If that person isn't in charge, who else is supposed to step in after that? You try to answer as many of those questions as possible. While you a sound mind.
And how far? I'm sorry to interrupt, because you hear this all the time. Because the POA, power of attorney, that don't take you very far when it comes to stuff like this, do it?
No, because power of attorney is up until death. So once they die, that power of attorney is gone.
I had a conversation with someone not too long ago.
It's an estate now. And so unless there's a will or a trust that says what happens to the property or the assets that this person owns, then it defaults to whatever that state says, right? Or what federal law says. So like in Delaware, typically when you buy property as husband and wife, you own it joint tenants in common, right? And so that if anything happens to either one of you, the 100% ownership goes to the survivor, right? Now, if you have kids, if you don't have a will, whatever property that you had is split in 4 ways, equally 4 ways, regardless of what you said. And then that's where the issue comes in, you know, because now it takes money to get appraisals done. And then everybody's got to be in agreement to sell it or to get bought out, so that whoever wants control of the property can have control of the property. And it's emotions involved. And it's hard to keep everybody. It's hard to say everybody's going to be on the same page at the same time when you have multiple people. So, and so some people will say, well, how early should I do it? If you're thinking about it and you own property, you should be doing it right now.
Doing it. And that can change too along the way.
It can
but
change.
At least have something already mapped out.
Yeah,
because it's times when you don't make an appointment for your death. It just happens. Now, some people get sick and have the opportunity to be able to, tend to their affairs. But car accidents and stuff happen.
Right.
And so had that.
Yeah, not having that stuff in order, it can be, and the more you have, the worse it is.
Oh
right?
yeah.
And so the crazy thing is that when you work hard to get yourself and your family in a position to where they can get taken care of, but if you don't do that one thing, it ends up blowing up. Yeah. Right. So all of the intentions and everything that you had and the step up that you was trying to provide to those heirs ends up being a burden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now we can't agree. Now nobody's getting anything. Now before you know it, you're not paying the taxes. Now some investors coming in and purchasing your property for the back due taxes. And nobody gets nothing.
Families broke up, not speaking to each other, and that can fester for years and years. I've seen it firsthand, man. So it's important, man. Plan the mistakes.
Yeah, for sure,
for sure, no doubt.
So it's really important, man.
That's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. It's not a topic that everyone not like to talk about. You know what I mean?
They don't, man, because like people like ain't nothing happening to me now. You know what I mean? What? As soon as I get this will and this. There's trust and stuff done, but it's like, okay, well, that was going to happen anyway. Yeah. We all know that's going to happen, but it's like, okay, well, do you care enough about the people that you're doing it for to make sure that they get what you're doing all of this stuff for?
Right.
Is that not important?
That's it.
And so, it's just being able to take a step back and evaluating and say, okay, what am I really doing this for?
No.
And in the event something happens, is what I want to get accomplished, is it going to get accomplished?
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt.
Sure.
I think that's about it for the day, man.
That's it. That's all we got, man.
That's all we got for the day, man.
Hey, so we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. If you're local and you're gonna be at the summertime suit up event, we're gonna do something a little bit different this year. Have a little pop up, tap then pop up.
No doubt.
We just want to talk to y'all, see what the suit up event means to you. Why you came out, what you looking to get out of it, what you're looking to give.
No doubt. Stop by, man. Talk to us. Hey, we'd love to hear what you guys got to say, man. Just get your input. No doubt.
Sure, man. As always, again, like, comment, share, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Wherever we are, we want y'all to be a part of the conversation. We 42 episodes in, but we just getting started.
Just getting started. Just warming up, baby.
Yeah, we just warming up. We got something on the way. We cooking. We cooking over here.
No doubt.
We cooking over here. So we appreciate y'all and stay tapped in.
Peace.
Peace.